So a little boy is in the library and he's talking to himself, and his grandmother can kind of hear him chatting, and he goes, "Oh, Nana, I found a Bible." She said, "Oh, I'm so glad you did, but what are you carrying on about?" He said, "Well, there's something in it." She said, What do you mean there's something in it?" He said, "Well, it's this big old leaf." She said, "Well, what do you think it is?" He said, "Well, I think it's Adam's underwear." As young as he was, he had already established ideas about what he had been told and what he had learned. And we're continuing this week to talk about and build upon what we spoke about last week. A vision is the power of your words. All the words that you use create a vision for your life, consciously or unconsciously. I don't know what is more complex, teaching people unaware metaphysics, which means beyond the physical. There's a whole other world going on many different levels. Or asking metaphysical people to be willing to be taught at a different level. Are you with me? And so it's a space of, there's the understanding how the laws work, and then there's the deepening of how the laws work within yourself. Because I like the quote, it was actually one I did, and it's, "United we stand, and divided we are merely a distraction." United we stand, right? And divided we're merely a distraction. And one may think of that as like united and divided as a country, as a culture, or something like that. But there's another level of beingness, is that to make sure that we're not divided within our being, yes? That the heart and the head are going in the same direction. And we're grateful today for the little girl that is picking up the sadness in the room. And she's the only brave one willing to do it out loud. So let's just go there, shall we? I mean, we've been moved today, yes? And I always love it when children are in a room, because she's feeling you. She's feeling you. The whatever may be divided within you. And it doesn't have to be wrong or right or division language. It could be just simply something to be willing to look at. Does this work for you? Because Kathy told me I have a few minutes. Okay. So in that space, we talk about the beauty of the Fillmorian teaching, Charles and Myrtle, that made it real clear that your words provoke the invisible substance and bring it into your reality. So we literally we become agents of people that are wearing almost like magnifying glasses, because everything's connected. The car, the people we love, the people, the incidents, the moments, the happenstance. One can't be chosen as, "Oh, this is so fun, I'm metaphysical," and then deny all the other aspects, because that divides our ability to truly see. Yes? We talk about the fact that in metaphysics there are facts and there are spiritual truths. A fact would be that you're asking too much for your house. A spiritual truth could be somebody wanted that house maybe even before you put it on the market. A spiritual truth could be you're going to get more than you're even asking for it. Now, that's not that unique in Montecito, I get that. But in most places in the country, that's a unique situation. Are you with me? You know, a fact can be that most people can live easily to be 100 years old. A spiritual truth can be most people can live to be 100 years old. Yes? A fact is some people live 1 year 100 times. So it is true. Thank you. Will you give her some free coffee after? And this is the part where we float. Am I guided by facts? Or am I guided by facts and spiritual truth? Right? Because if I am a spiritual being immersed in spiritual law, who's going to come first? What's going to come first in my life? Spiritual truth. Need the facts, spiritual truth of what is possible in our lives. So much is possible in our beingness and in our reality. Yes? Mary Morrissey said one time when she came to our community in Florida, she said, my dad read in the paper that too much smoking and drinking and sugar is bad for you. So he decided to stop reading the paper. So you see, whatever we say, I'm not going to go along with that, we are still going along with that. Because the laws are always working. And that's why I always like to hear people chuckle when I say we honor a law that is always working. Even for those that say it does not work, it works for them by not working, right? And so it's a jolt. It makes us go deeper inside our wellspring we call truth and assess that. Years ago, we had found a bunch of dogs that we were going to rescue from Brazil. I've told you some of that before. What I didn't tell you is that there were 3 puppies that we were going to bring on the plane returning from Brazil. And we went and we bought them little carriages. We had all their paperwork. We were ready to go. Myself and another partner that did a lot with animal rescue with me. And also we talked someone else into carrying one of the dogs under the seat. We called the 3, the international, the this, the that, the airlines, and everybody said, oh, good to go. We get to the airlines in Brazil, and they won't let us board the plane. There was some kind of rule that was written about this big, somewhere underneath 5 pages deep, that says puppy has to weigh a certain size, and no one told us that. So the attendees were saying, we can take the puppies back to the vet, which was an hour and a half away. And every person there was going, don't do that. They will be discarded. So myself and my partner, we decided that we're staying. We'd given up all our money, Brazilian exchange. We were collecting money from people in line. We didn't know what we were going to do. We took a cab. We didn't know how to tell them where we were going. I mean, I'm doing my best to speak English. Give me some credit. Let alone another language. I just, thank you for sharing. So, and we were looking for a hotel during a festival time that would allow dogs to stay. So the hotel we went to, I've stayed in tents outside that are cleaner. And it was just very unnerving. And we had no idea what we were going to do. We had no idea how we were going to get the puppies an hour and a half away. And like I said, we had no money. And the hotel, whatever it was called, wouldn't let us use the phone. So we went into prayer. We did the unity thing. Right? God is, therefore we are, our thoughts and our words. And we went, here we are, universe. We're saving these living beings. It's time to take action. So Carol said, I'm going to go take a walk. I said, good. Let's just create some space. She comes back in about a half hour. She said, there's a college right down the road. And there was a man standing there and engaged a conversation with me. And he had a cell phone. And she said, I asked him if he would call the vet. And she said, and then he said, I'm happy to do that. My name is Godson. My name is Godson. And through telling that story, people would go, as people can be, well, did that surprise you in any way? I mean, wouldn't you expect that, being in unity and all that? Do you ever have people do that? They want to shut down your joy of the surprise? Engage with me here, okay? Okay, thank you. Right? I mean, you're excited about something, and people go, well, what else would you expect? I mean, you've been in this practice for 40 years. I don't like to skip a step. I like my surprise to be the hallelujah and the glory. I like this surprise to be the energy of, wow, imagine all the things that needed to go together in order for this moment to occur. Imagine the delay, imagine the hesitation, imagine all the processes that then my friend would decide to go take a walk and go extensively and find this college, and somebody's name would be God's son. When it's so incredible that you can't by yourself make it up, that's when we are immersed in metaphysical law, beyond concepts into a sacred reality, right? I have a slide I want to show you. Anybody know who that is? Who is that? Sergeant Carter, right? What a character, right? He had a metaphysical person come to his midst, and he could never see it, right? Because he lived too strong in boxes, and he was too strict, and he lived in too many rules. But do you remember what Private Powell was known for? Video, please.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
He believed in the element of surprise, that youthful spirit. And that's what we call forth in our own energy field this morning. And continuing what we spoke about last week is to hold our vibration up here, to get excited about the most simplistic things. Even if somebody tells you they like you, elaborate on that. Don't say, how could you possibly do that? But what do you like about me? And to be in this space of really that vibration of feeling it in your heart. Throughout the summer, we're going to do a program called the Surprise Abundance Program. And it's going to be so fun because we're asking people to commit and pray every day for surprise abundance to come into all of our lives. Would anybody benefit from a little bit more abundance? Right. Doesn't matter what class you are, where you live, what you have, what's in all your bank accounts. We could all celebrate some more abundance. So we're going to be doing the surprise abundance. There's forms today that are at the Welcome Center if you want to go ahead and sign up. But you agree to tithe on any surprise that you get. Not things that you already have in the works, but we rely upon your own integrity. Yes? When you think about with the story that we're all familiar with, David and Goliath of the giant, you can see early on that David was coached by everyone as to how to be and what to do. And his father and his brothers put on armor for him and dressed him accordingly to get prepared for the war, for the moment, to go against this giant reality. And when he attempted to do so, it did not feel right to him. And so he disregarded all the shielding and everything that he had in the outfit, and he just brought out his simple one tool that had been faithful to him all his life, and that was the slingshot. And he was able, through that, to take the giant down. I think that in evolution, that we have a lot of new things that come, new scientific discoveries. I was at a conference in Tampa, and now there's even more brain specialists that explain why we are the way we are and how we got to be the way they are. And I'm not making light of any of that. I think that's incredible. But at the end of the day, we have principles that I don't know about you, I'm still learning to master them. Is anybody with me? I'm still learning to address them. God is all there is, therefore I am, and the power of the I am is all there is in me, yes? And through the way I meditate and pray, through the way I observe, the way I use my thoughts, is the way that I'm able to live my life. And when we have surprises of miracles and joy and things are going well and we go get our physical and they say, you are doing so well. Well, my doctor doesn't do it quite like that. Excuse me. I don't know who I was channeling, but anyway, they were like, oh, okay. But a space of that. But it's when we stand in a place of united we stand, and divided we're merely a distraction. When we stand in a place that we are the unity trailblazers. See, I really don't believe that unity is attempting to catch up. I think we need to heal that unity is one of the newest religions in the world and get over that on some deeper level. Unity in 2015 on Science of Mind was declared a legitimate religion. 2015, Salt Lake City, Utah, Parliament of the World Religions. New Thought is a religion. And because we're young and up and coming, doesn't mean that we negate and apologize for ourselves. It means that we take a stand deeper and further and say, we are here to teach people how to unite. Our name is unity. Deal with it. Are you with me? Yes. It's a whole different thing. It's like, you can tell same-sex couples it's okay to get married, but it doesn't stop there. Our identity is to teach people love is love. Regardless of the package. And just because we're new and up and coming because somebody said it's okay to be you, doesn't mean that we need to continue to apologize for ourselves the rest of our lives. This is 2023. When you belong to a community that frees people, that creates geniuses within children, that brings people from the dead to life, what is there to hold back about? Right? Where is the line down the way? And sometimes through the years, I bet they've asked you this. Why aren't unity people why aren't you a mega community? Why aren't you, very few have, many people? And it's like, that's a very baffling reality. Part of it is because we teach people, you are responsible. You can't come in here and blame God for everything that's ever happened in your life. If you do, that people don't usually stay when they hear that you had something to do with it. Right? What do? We co-create. We co-create, yes? And so we co-create. And so that's a lot of times in our human suits, we don't want to accept that much responsibility. But like that immutable law, whether we want to or not, it's true. Everything in your life today is something that you agreed to have. So we learn how to stand up and step out and create this awareness of that this teaching has the potential not only to bring people together and energize people and create a forever young reality, but could be the leading edge of spirituality that could bring this culture and this country together. I'm talking spiritual rights here. I'm not CNN. I'm not trying to go somewhere political. I'm just talking about good old-timey human rights that we all belong here. Are you with me? Yes. So we use this time. We build upon the fact that we are legitimate. And we stand tall in that and see that we are new and up and coming, not new and we need to explain who we are. Because we are a power of love. We are a power of bringing people together. What do you think, Reb? Bringing people together and energizing this essence of who we are. Elizabeth Gilbert says this: our fear never changes, never delights, never offers a surprise twist or an unexpected ending. Fear is a song with only one note, only one word actually, repeated at full volume on an endless loop. The word is stop. We are all equipped with the same basic fear package. There's nothing interesting or compelling or original about it. And then she poses the question, do we really want to build our lives around the most boring instincts we have? Wow, that stepped on my sandals. What about you? We do not. We absolutely do not. I am feeling empowered today. Say that with me. I am feeling empowered today. I am ready to lift up. Rise above. And energize. I see a world all connected, not separate, all in alignment with the unity teaching. Unity is a household name in every home, in every space, and in every corner. Thank you for sharing that with me. I really appreciate that. So Charlie Brown said to Lucy, look, here's the thing. If you could do something to change the world, where would you start? And she walked over to him and she pointed and she said, I'd start with you. There's something very unique happening here with all of us and with our hearts. And I'm invoking and inviting all of us to open up to what that is. Not same stories that churches carry and who used to be here and why they're there. And there's a new story wanting to emerge. And from an open heart, we will discover what that is. But it's not about catering down. It's about stepping up in a way that serves us, in a way that rises, and our prayer work. So for me, what's come up for me during this Memorial Day time is to deepen the rituals that I do every day. Is someone willing to join me? Deepen the rituals I do every day. Even when you're at a four-way stop, a firm connection throughout the planet. A firm people being aware that we are connected throughout the planet. A great awakening, a resurrection. We don't have to wait till next Easter. I resurrect often throughout the year, and I hold that for you. So I'm going to close with a story about a man that he goes to the doctor because he can't hear that well. And so the doctor checks him out, and he gives him a set of hearing aids. And the man's amazed because he can hear everything. So he goes back to the doctor in a couple of months, and the doctor says, well, how's it going? He says, I hear perfectly. He said, well, your tests are great too. Wonderful. I bet your family was so excited. He said, I haven't told them. And I just listen to everything they say. And I've changed my will time and time and time again. I'm talking about another kind of will. Let's change our will. Our will to see this teaching on every title in anything we ever read, that this teaching is the answer. We change our will to be stronger, more courageous. We change our will to step up, to stand out, to speak a truth to our own understanding. And I thank you for engaging me and listening to me on this day. Bless you.